up in the sky. Look, it's captivating. It's energizing. It's Eliances Heroes. Eliances is the destination for entrepreneurs, investors, CEOs, inventors, leaders, celebrities, and startups, where our heroes in business align. Now, here's your host flying in, David Cogan, founder of Eliances.
That's right. You know what? I've got the best job in the world. I get to interview the most incredible people, and today is no different. And by the way, thank you again for the past feedback we had when I interviewed Henrik Fisker, right? The iconic automotive designer, Aston Martin, BMW. Make sure you go to past interviews, go to Eliances, ELIANCES.com. As you know, it's the only place where entrepreneurs align. All right, are you ready for this? Our next hero played professional football. Now, if that's not enough, he played with the LA Rams, Atlanta Falcons, and now also four-time, that's right, not one, four-time champion, winning both the WCW and WWE heavyweight championships once and the WWE Universal Championship 2 times. Also inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame in 2018. You could reach, are you ready for this? Bill Goldberg. That's right, on Instagram at Goldberg95 and Goldberg's Garage. Bill, boy, you keep on going, and we're going to talk about also too what you're doing now, but you have got such a successful career. I got to ask you, how do you keep the energy? You kept it from the beginning to now, and you keep on going. What's the secret?
First and foremost, thank you very much for the introduction. And secondly, I'd have to say my secret is once you feel like you're slipping, have a kid, because then you'll be on your toes the rest of your life for one reason or another, whether it be responsibility as a parent, or whether it be trying to set a good example, or whether it be just trying to be a spotter in the weight room. But the fact that I have segued into dad from all of these other titles is it's an honor and a privilege, and it's the most it's the most rewarding title that I have, but yet it does keep me on my toes every second of the day.
Let me ask you, because you spoke about that, what are some of the kind of secrets, life lessons then that you've shared with your son, in regards to, being motivated, staying positive, right? All of those things keep on going that have made you so successful.
There's so many cliches, and I was thinking about it the other day, and I in this day and age with the landscape, I don't know if they 100% apply like they used to, but one of the foundations for me being the human being that I am is based upon the fact that I treat people the way I want to be treated. At the end of the day, that's the most important thing in life. And to set that example for my son, for your kids, for anyone who would follow in your footsteps, and anyone who would look up to you for one reason or another, that I think that's the biggest lesson, the most important lesson to pass down. That, don't ever give up. I could sit here for an hour and spit out 50 cliches that apply every day to my son. But, have pride in what you do. Don't do anything unless you want to be the best at it. Give 100% effort in everything you got, and don't ever give up, and be a leader. And like I say, I could go on and on and on, but everything that my dad really stressed when I was a kid has just, transpired from me, or from him to me, in the role that I play as father now. It's the most difficult role that I played my entire life. That's for damn sure. Right.
And Bill, again, when you're, whether playing football or wrestling, you're on the entire time. And at wrestling, what's like the formula to get that attraction, to get those people to focus in on you? Besides the energy part, what's going through your mind of, okay, there's this huge crowd here. Certainly different from the beginning till, when you had more, you had more experience in that, but each time you were on game.
Well, I'm a perfectionist. No matter if it was football, whether it's professional wrestling, or whether it's playing Joey Battle on the longest yard. It doesn't matter. I try to give the best and give 100% in every single thing that I do. And, it's tough you like to say the best analogy as a performer in the professional wrestling world is that you have a light switch. It's not as constantly on as on the football field, no question. But you have to have the ability to turn it on and off. You have to have the ability to go from 0 to 100 miles an hour in a split second and then back to 0. You talk about preparation. Let's forget about all of it until like 5 minutes before you get in the ring. You have so many things going through your head, whether it's completing the match 100% safe, telling that story as realistic as humanly possible, fan interaction. There's so many things to think about. It's really tough to kind of explain it because I don't even know how to explain it. There's so many things going on. You just have to be able to turn that light switch on and off. And you have to be able to, when you walk through that curtain, to give them 100% of your energy every single time. But when you walk back through that curtain and you go backstage, you have to have the ability to turn it off. So it's a true skill to be able to do that.
Right. You must have slept like a baby at the end of each match at night.
Well, I did and I didn't because, you look at a special forces personnel. You look at the stress they go through physically and mentally. And then afterwards, after their mission is completed, it's hard to wind down. It's hard to turn it off immediately. I give you the light switch reference, but the power bar is still running on that light switch once you turn it off. So it's a slow process to be able to really calm down. But throughout the years, you just learn to be better at it. Excellent.
And again, we have with us Bill Goldberg. He's the famous, WWE wrestler, played for LA Rams, Atlanta Falcons, multiple champion. And thank you again to member of Eliances, Stephen Johnson, for nominating you to be on the show. We're very honored to have you here today. All right, so let's get into hobbies. All right, talk to me about some of your favorite hobbies.
Well, I'm sitting in my favorite hobby room, my 15,000 square foot monstrosity I call Goldberg's Garage. I'm an avid car collector. I have been for 30 years. I'm very passionate about the automobile. I remember growing up and I remember the cars that my parents would have, and I remember the experiences we had in them, and I remember my buddies and their older brothers who had these cool hot rods and muscle cars back in the late 60s and 70s. And it was a really cool time for the automotive industry. And my dad was a Jaguar guy, and my brothers turned into car guys. And then it had no chance of not trickling down to me. So what you see behind you is about 35 cars that I've collected throughout the years that each and every one of them tell a story. Each and every one has a special place in my heart because of a certain experience that I had in that car or a car similar to it. So, that, and on top of the Goldberg's Garage is Goldberg's Gym. So upstairs, we got about a 3,500 square foot weight room that I've been cultivating my son in for the past 4 years. So that's I don't know, that and firearms, I'd have to say, living out here in Texas on a couple hundred acres, and the animals that we have are wonderful and nice and relaxing. And it's a totally different life encompassing nothing but taking in the sights,
nice.
enjoying your past accomplishments and kind of relaxing a little bit and taking it all in. That's what I do out here in Texas.
All right, I want to do some snooping now. We're going to do some snooping right now because those of you that are watching online see those of you that are listening. So he's in his garage right now. There's a whole lot of things hanging on the wall behind and all that. What's one of the items, if you had to choose one that kind of maybe means the most to you that we can actually maybe see behind you? Because I know you, again, have quite a bit more on that. What would that piece be?
Yeah, I'd have to say my Atlanta Falcons jersey there over my right shoulder. That would be my left shoulder. There it is, right there, number 71. That was my dream. That I was born in a football helmet, they like to say, and I had two older brothers who played major college football up in Minnesota, and they're 16 and 18 years older than I am, and I aspired to be nothing more in life than a professional football player. And I was lucky enough to attain that goal. It was for a short period of time. And I very much value that short period. It means the world to me. And it means that I accomplished the goal that I had set out for my entire life. And I was able to live that dream for a little while. It was the best experience of my life. Other than being married and having a son, it was hands down the best experience I've ever had. So bar none, that Falcons jersey is the most sentimental thing on that wall right there.
Bill, most memorable experience, what would that have been? Because again, you've had and created so many things, made so much joy to people's lives. What would be if there was one most memorable experience, and why?
Is it athletically related or just memorable experience, period?
I would say, well, let's do one, most memorable fight in the ring, and then overall.
Most memorable match I ever had was hands down against Hollywood Hogan in Atlanta in front of 40-something thousand people, announced 4 days before, live on television, and it wasn't a pay-per-view. It was a live event. What made it very special to me was that when we went off the air, and I was continually being beaten up by Hulk Hogan and his goons, the Atlanta Falcons came to my aid, and they were the guys that I aspired to be my entire life, guys that I would have died for. And at that moment, they wanted to be in my shoes. They reveled in the fact that they were in my workplace and they were kids in a candy store, and it was the coolest thing, just sitting back in the corner and just watching that for 5 minutes was the coolest 5 minutes of my life.
Absolutely incredible. I mean, again, you've been very successful. So what do you do in your free time?
I try to help as many people as humanly possible, whether it be kids or whether it be, our military. Living out here near San Antonio, and moving from Oceanside, California, I never thought I'd be in a more military-centric place, but God has rewarded me for putting me in a place that has more veterans per capita, I think, than anyone or any other place in the country. But anything I can do for current servicemen and women and veterans, that's my calling. Quite obviously, anything for children also. One of the best experiences of my life was at a wrestling match in Jacksonville, Florida, and the Wolfson's Children's Hospital, Wolfson's Children's Cancer Hospital is down there in Jacksonville, and that's part of my family, and I was able to open that up with them. The beautiful ceremony. It was a number of years ago, and the smiles we were able to put on those kids' faces it was a moment I'll never forget. But to be able to recreate stuff like that as often as humanly possible, that's my goal in life. Obviously, my number one responsibility is my family, and beyond that, taking care of them, I'm a man of the people. So I try to do as much for the community as humanly possible.
Well, definitely have made an impact on other people's lives, and you continue to do that. Bill Goldberg, again, Thank you so much for being here. LA Rams, played for Atlanta Falcons, WWE World Champion, WCW, and continues to make an impact on others. And again, make sure that you follow him on Instagram at Goldberg95 and at Goldberg's Garage. This has been David Cogan with the Eliances Heroes Show. Make sure you stand by because we have coming up the founders, right, of a well-known wine company, which you'll know. So make sure that you stand by. And again, this has been David Cogan with the Eliances Heroes Show. And Bill, you got to dance with me too.